Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps, one of the most famous Grand Prix circuits in the world, and today hosting Pagani's Arte in Pista program, where somehow I'm the lucky individual who is getting behind the wheel of the brand new Huayra R Evo Roadster. Armed with a 900 horsepower screaming V12, this update to the Huayra R most notably boasts a track running experience with no roof. Yes, as if the regular Huayra R wasn't crazy enough, now there's even more of the sound and visceral experience.
Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me here at Spa-Francorchamps to get behind the wheel of this, and you're coming along for the ride. Here we are, the pit lane at Spa-Francorchamps. It's loud, there are engines running. Very soon I'm going out in the Huayra R Evo Roadster, but there are some other pretty spectacular cars that are running today. This is a private track day for the GT1 Sports Club and Curbstone, with whom I have run many times. It's Pagani's Arte in Pista program though. This is one of the expose days where it runs with private Pagani track time and with other things going out as well. It's mind-blowing. And then you look over there, and we have the lineup in the pit garages. If you can even hear me, of the Huayra Rs and the Huayra R Evo Roadster. This isn't quite reality right now, but I'm obviously suited and booted. Very shortly, I'm going to be hopping into one of those lead follow scenario. Is this real? Is this really happening? This is the first round of the season. There are more events with the GT1 Sports Club in Europe and the Middle East, but it's not every day you have, what, 7, 8 Huayra Rs and the new car behind you in a lineup like this. Whew, right, let's take a look and introduce this car to you.
Pagani's R models are the brand's ultimate expression of track-only performance hypercars, pushing every boundary of engineering and design. It all began in 2009 with the Zonda R, a car that famously broke the Nürburgring record with a time of 6 minutes and 47 seconds. On the channel previously, we've filmed one in Squadra Lupo's Miami condo. Yes, you heard that right. To then joining my friend Shin Mike Yin to be absolutely deafened by his, plus going for some laps at thermal. If 750 horsepower wasn't enough though, then came the 800 horsepower Zonda Revolution, with one of the 5 being delivered in California to my friend Devin, which we then unboxed from a crate before later joining him again at Sonoma for a crazy experience and some rather handy driving. Then in 2021, Pagani launched the Huayra R, a spiritual successor, but with a brand new 6-litre naturally aspirated V12 built specifically for this car. It was here at Spa that I then first got behind the wheel a few years ago to have my mind blown. These are not just cars, they're art pieces, born for speed, built for noise, and designed to leave everything else behind.
Let's take a look at this then, before it's going to be time for some open-top racing at Spa. Alongside is an old flame, the Huayra R that I drove a few years ago, a lineup of the customer cars taking part in today's program, but this is what we have come to see. The new Huayra R Evo Roadster, the open-top ultimate track hypercar. It is significantly longer than before, of course expanding on that philosophy of the idea of the sports prototypes of the 60s and the 70s. There's an additional 190 millimeters at the rear, more active aero, so nearly 20 centimeters longer back there, and 101 millimeters longer with this new front splitter. That's not all though, you've got the additional flicks. There's a significant increase in the downforce available. There's a new heave damper system for the suspension, which is going to make it even better to drive. We've also got an update to the CCMR, carbon ceramic brakes, new aero here as well, new tyres, but this is the big talking point, the open roof experience on a track hypercar. Now these are the removable, swappable panels. So as you see it here, it has the gurney integrated to deflect the airflow away to give you even more of that experience and the sound without it being too overwhelming. But the idea of those old windshield equipped sports prototypes, that open driving experience, you can remove this carbon panel and swap it out in favour of the fixed roof panels should the weather conditions not exactly be favourable, or if you'd prefer to drive with it closed. Have it open though, even more sound, even more experience from the V12R, the naturally aspirated V12, 900 horsepower, 770 Newton meters, and revving to get this 9,200 RPM with a new exhaust system. The sound is going to be phenomenal. The Evo upgrade package is also available for the Huayra Rs. This is dreamland right now, but very shortly I'm going to be stepping into this, taking a seat to quickly show you, because we will go through this in more detail, into this cabin. Now, rather than having the exposed cage, it's hidden away behind the carbon fibre. You've got this halo-style panel running up right through the centre, new interior equipment, fittings and things that are available as well. So yeah, I need to get myself ready to go drive in this, which I cannot believe, here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Spa-Francorchamps is one of the most legendary circuits in motorsport history and one of my favourites in the world. Nestled in the forests of Belgium, this 7-kilometre track is a roller coaster of speed, elevation and pure adrenaline. It challenges even the greatest drivers with its fast-flowing corners and unpredictable weather. First opened in 1921, it's hosted everything from Formula One to endurance racing, and it remains a proving ground for man and machine. I've lapped here in a number of my own cars before, including going flat out in the McLaren Senna on multiple different days, my regular track monster, the AMG GT Black Series, and recently even for a wild ride with my bonkers Zenvo TSRS before promptly getting black flagged, but that's another story. Today, we're back again.
This is the vibe right now. Huayra R's coming out of the pit boxes. R Evo Roadster. Unbelievable. The sound in the pit lane. Final prep. Down it goes. We're going to be given the start up. Oh my god. Look at this taking off. Listening to this. That is illegally good. Engines running on this side, that side. Oh my days. That one. What is this? You need earplugs in. If you don't have earplugs in, it's game over to your ears. The sounds of them as they go around. The cars return.
This is starting to get very real now. Cameras are in, lid going on. Whew, no pressure. And in a second, I'm climbing into this. Okay, nervous? A little bit. Excited? Massively. All right. Wish me luck. Well, I tell you what, it's easier to slide in when you've got the opening above you. All right. Down we go. Okay. Door shut on me. Right. Mirror's good, mirror check good. I've got some radio static in my ear. I'm hoping that goes away once we pull out of the pit box. But for the moment, I'm waiting for instructions. Let's do this. Wow! Okay, slightly crazy. I will wait until I get the indication. First gear, drive. Here we go! Huayra R Evo Roadster, roof open. Oh my goodness me! What on earth is this right now? Down the hill we go. Ready to go out. This is ridiculous. Open air experience. Off the pit limiter. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. What on earth? This is unbelievable. I am driving this roof open experience. Left foot braking. We're going to ease into this, get some temperature into the tyres. Out lap, couple of fast laps. Holy moly. This is ferocious. It is wild. exhaust. This is absurd. I can't quite believe this. Well, I can't control the red flags. That might be the end of my day. What an unbelievable experience. Absolutely incredible. Now the big car thing becomes a little bit of a problem driving through here. Onto the pit limiter.
Where better could we be with Chris Pagani than on the start line here at Spa to talk about this?
It's always great to be back here. You know, we have amazing memories here in Spa together.
You bet.
And what a nice occasion to bring the latest track-focused hypercar.
So, come on, let's talk a little about this. The story, the idea behind it. You've had the Zonda R, the Huayra R, but this takes things even further. It's a different kind of car as well.
There is a lot to tell about the car. What's important is to explain that with the Huayra R, the Arte and Pista let's say program was created. So in order to have this program to follow and to go on with all of our track hypercar cars, we said we need something even crazier than the Huayra R. So long tail design, open roof, a lot of development on the suspension, on the tires, on the braking. It's always a little bit of a revolution with us. Mm-hmm. We don't just say we can improve a few things. You've driven the R, you've driven this thing. It's like always a big step, not just a small thing. One of the things we didn't want to change first was how the car was developed to be predictable on the racetrack. Mm-hmm. So as you know, people that come to Arte and Pista events, we have some ex-race car driver, we have some gentleman driver. So what we didn't want to change is how predictable the car has to behave on the track. So we didn't want to lower the car too much, but we still wanted to bring the performance up when it comes to active aerodynamics and all the air flowing inside this huge car. It's not a small car. You have a lot of air and you have to channel the air to really help you keeping the car stick to the ground without using too much the bottom of the car. Yeah. So of course the central fin, the wing, the coda lunga effect, without again compromising how the car can be unstable if you lower it too much.
Yeah, so significantly more downforce, but like you say, the objective is still very much for a compliant and manageable drive.
Yeah.
Right, so that your customers can come, they can put the roof on or put the roof off, depending which they prefer. I know there's been a lot of work as well for the suspension system and the braking system to improve the performance there as well. I mean, we are at a racetrack, so we do have cars warming up on their laps. Yeah, music indeed. So the question I have to ask you, are you driving roof on or roof open?
I think I'd like both. Yeah. But when you're in Belgium and you have such a beautiful day, there is no choice.
A day
roof off.
With no rain, we can't complain. So it's more than just the sum of a few things, but I think there's been an immense take-up from the customers already. The interest in these products, all the way from the Zonda R through the Huayra R, now the R Evo.
I think you're adding pieces to what is the reason why we're making these cars. It's to enjoy the naturally aspirated V12, which everybody miss. Bring some of the elements of the performance we can test on very high performance vehicles on the track. So a lot of development on suspension arms, on everything that has to be tested with very high performance. And then again, I think the community that it's created at the events, the fact that we have 2 days of driving. So the first day you get there, you get to know the car, you get to start over. The next day, it's like really put the new tires on and look for the best performance you can get. So it's I think overall we're trying to create a community, trying to create a place where clients have a good time. We need this kind of dialogue. We need this kind of continuing to build what is the passion for this kind of vehicles. If not, they're not driven, and we want them to enjoy the track.
To get out on a day like today, well, meeting and speaking with some of the owners and drivers, it's quite the camaraderie, it's quite the community as well. So congratulations, and thank you for letting me be here today to enjoy it as well.
Right, we're fired up. So, get my glove on, pull the paddle into drive. Here we go. Here we go. Hit limiter off. Up the hill. It's a bit bumpy up here, gotta watch out and be a little bit careful. We've also got cold tyres from sitting around. This feeling is ridiculous. That sound! This is warming up, and it's already unreal. What on earth? The flaps ahead of me as we go through full-on this long, intense, high G-force section. I'm learning as I go. My ears are bleeding with the sound of a V12 screaming behind me like this. Not many experiences that are as raw as this. But I tell you what, so far, it's also quite welcoming. Coming round for the end of the first lap, just wait to unwind the power in a straight line. This is ridiculous. Driving through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Oh my goodness me! Oh my goodness me. Onto the pit limiter. Narrow pit walls. Woo! That is insane. The noise, the feeling, the visceral experience, the whole excitement. We're back down the pit lane. Oh, that unfreaking believable. Into neutral, come through, into position, and off.
Yes!
Okay, amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, really.
So good. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The car is so welcoming. Like you feel you just jump in and off you go. Oh, I just want to go more and more and more and more. More laps, more laps.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Amazing. Thank you, Andrea. Right. That was nuts. Okay, let me swing out. You know what's kind of crazy? When you drive in something like this, you feel a bit like you're playing a computer game. I feel like there is so much more that even I could do with this. Like this is really the baby stages, but I feel so confident from it, so comfortable with it, so at home in it. Like the noise and the visceral experience is otherworldly with these roof panels or this open roof experience. You feel it over your head even with the helmet on. You're like, just the rush and the feeling. And when you get up towards 9,000 RPM, when you're at the top of the red line, it's completely spine tingling, absolutely spine tingling. Like without something over your ears, that would be almost painful. I need a few minutes to like recover and take this in. Woo-hoo-hoo. So good. It's time to get a little bit more technical. So we're joined by Francesco Perini. Can you tell us what you do, the updates to the car? Let's go through it in more detail.
Well, we're in front of the Huayra R Evo Roadster. It's basically the latest generation of the track cars for Pagani. Initially, we started the development from this platform called Huayra R in 2021, and we set the target of the Revo already at the time, but over the development program, we noticed that with the Huayra R we achieved the results we were hoping for the Revo in the future. So when we came to the Revo, we had to reinvent the wheel. We have to rethink about everything essentially.
The benchmark was set very high.
Very high.
But yet you've improved aerodynamics, more downforce, suspension. Can we kind of talk through this and run through what's gone into it?
You mentioned the aerodynamics because that was one of the deeper studies that we have to perform in order to revise the approach of the car. We achieved a 45% increase in downforce.
45% increase in downforce. Technically on paper, as I understand it, it's a loud track day. At 320 kilometers an hour, it has more downforce than the weight of the car. Which is quite mind-boggling. So as well as being slightly longer, it's around 30 centimeters longer. When you came up with this idea to have the open top experience, what does that do to the aerodynamics of the car? Like how does this change the profile?
That's an interesting question because it basically, if you consider that there are some different pressure fields around the car, and the majority of the pressure field that we want developing aero loads and downforce should come from the bodywork. On the other hand, has a negative pressure field, which means the pressure is going to the other side, is sucking up the car basically.
Okay.
So when you remove the roof, you are actually increasing the downforce. So that's why driving the car with the open top gives you even more performance.
So it's technically faster with the open top.
And lighter.
Very interesting. But the aero also here with the new fin.
It has two functions. One is stabilize the yaw of the car. The second function that is a bit hidden, but here there is an extraction point all along the fin.
So not only an aero element, but also a heat extraction element. To move inside, one thing that really interests me about the change is that instead of having the exposed cage as before, there's now this new system with the
the halo? I don't quite know how best to describe it, and the change to the interior.
For the Revo, we had to reinvent all the interior in order to integrate as much as possible from the headrest structure, which is completely embedded into the roof structure, as well as the central member of the roll cage.
Yeah.
So the halo, the central member, was something required to compensate the fact that the central part of the chassis was, first, we had two big openings. Second, we have the air intake coming and going through here all the chassis. So you see the middle of the chassis.
We haven't yet touched on braking and suspension, but many changes, I think, with the new suspension system also.
Yeah, if you consider a 45% in downforce increase, you immediately think how much extra load goes through the suspension system and down to the tire. So the suspension required a massive revision, including uniball and rigid connection points, and the addition of a heave damper, so essentially an additional element that decouples the independent modes on the four wheels with the chassis. Thanks to that, we can manage much better for high speed and hard braking.
I guess it takes barely any time at all to pop the panels back on should you wish to drive with it closed.
Yeah, it's technically it's a second.
I didn't realize it was that easy. Okay, well, there was I thinking you probably had to bolt some things or take a bit of time over it, but it's that simple with the latch system. Slides in at the back, drops at the front. There we have it. Impressive. Easy. Whether you want your closed roof race car or your open roof race car. Well, congratulations. Thank you very much for showing us around.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
With the R Evo here in the pit lane, I want to show you a little bit more of the interior. Of course, earlier I clambered in with all of my gear, but there's a lot more to touch on because it's been quite significantly updated. I want to show you some of the screens and things, and the first part of this process in any race car is to take the steering wheel out, or you're going to have a very bad time. That literally, just a quick release, and there are quite a few controls on here for different things. It's a bit of a process just to learn how it all works. I'll go through more of that when it's illuminated inside. Now, I could put this on the passenger seat, or I could try and get in with it in my hand. Basically, one foot in, other foot round there, and then fall off the carbon side sill into the Pagani. This then goes back into place, and that's where I want to show you a little bit more through this interior. So let me first come through. So turn on the main, flick that down. That's the power for everything. You can see obviously things starting to illuminate. A little bit of a patience process to this. Then we'll turn on the ignition, which will obviously start to power up the screens, the R Evo Roadster display. What's interesting is how the left display is your rear camera. Obviously inside here, you've got the nice materials for the passenger seat. That's the amazing thing. The headrests that are literally bolted, or like part of the carbon fiber tub that surrounds me, and then the 6-point harnesses to go with it all, and these latches that help you to take on and off the roof above with great ease. Obviously that halo style view, I mean look at that, the view out through the front, that is pretty epic. So on here, when you start driving, obviously you have neutral right there, but once you've put it into gear, obviously paddles on the back, you then press drive, and it's effectively an automated clutch, so you don't have a clutch pedal to deal with, you just pull away, and it's quite easy and again welcoming. Obviously things like the radio button, because you've got your built-in intercom. In fact, the intercom mount points are literally right around the ears of the headrest, so it's super simple to connect all of that together. Makes your life very, very easy. And then you have various different engine maps, damper settings, ABS settings. You can imagine all the different traction control things that you can go through, and obviously different displays for the screen as well, different pages that you can cycle across depending on the information you would like to read while you're driving. Obviously not running at the moment, so That's probably what you would want while you're out on track, the bespoke setup. So very, very special to be inside here. Obviously, flick these off, kill the power for the moment, and try my best to elegantly climb out. Steering wheel, can pop it in the passenger seat to make life a little easier. It's very weird having this in a track car, like these completely open roof panels. I guess you could, in some form, use those a bit to help you out. Yes, you can. Funny. Wow. Not the most elegant operation. I'm mind blown by it, you know? It's the way it's finished, the fit and finish of the interior. It's a Pagani that does that with 900 horsepower and a V12 that sounds like that. Wandering outside this way, we have to talk about this. Given we are discussing today open-top Paganis, this is Utopia Roadster. Now we're sandwiched between the various telemetry, data, parts, transporters, but this is one of 130 of the convertible version of Utopia. The red carbon fiber on this is truly spectacular. It is a work of art. I mean, come round and take a look at the interior. This is with the manual gearbox. You could have it with either the manual or with the paddle should you prefer. I've been lucky to drive Utopia with both. They suit different purposes. The powertrain remains as it was on the coupe. So we've got 864 horsepower from the 6-litre twin turbocharged V12. Again, just look at it, it's special to behold. You have your luggage storage boxes here, just the way everything is finished. This mix between tradition, but also modern technology, lightweight materials, all of the extensive work that Horacio Pagani and the team have done with carbon fiber, basically. That's kind of where these basically began from. And then on the exterior, how they still have the latches, that throwback to, well, that feel, that vibe of classic cars and motorsport. Everything about them, I just have no words. And needless to say, I wouldn't mind one of these to drive on the road. It has either a fixed Targa roof panel that you can take off your solid panel, or a fabric soft top alternative if you want to have it open but still carry something with you in case it should start raining suddenly. It is about to be time, there we go, for the last run with this. Today, with Pagani's Arte and Pista program and the GT1 Sports Club by Curbstone, I mean, just wait for these to go, but I want to share some final thoughts on them. The experience has been almost, I'm going to say almost overwhelming. I think they're just doing some final checks before they roll out. But it's, to use the cliche phrase we talked about earlier, it's the predictability, the front end turn-in and the ease and confidence of this car, and how, even for me, who I'm lucky to do quite a few days in extreme machines and GT race cars, I felt so comfortable and happy with it. The sound. And that would be my friend Mike driving right now, whose Huayra R is tucked in at the end. So it's the confidence of the car, but another thing, if you don't have full race fitness, right, something that often affects me in cars like this is it's intense driving these things as we get out of the active pit lane. And as a result, obviously you get quite hot. Now you can have air conditioning in these, but sometimes the AC, not on a hot day, is enough. The breeze that you get through the roof is like this super gentle, nice airflow, which for me just makes me feel more comfortable. And I got out after a few laps. I just wanted to go again and go and have more fun. And I love the uniqueness of this roof mechanism and this style, this approach to it. So this has been utterly bonkers, a pretty amazing day. And if you like videos like this, you need to check out the one right over there. Thank you very much, Pagani. Thanks to everyone here today. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.